Today we find out, can you mine over 1,000 copper ore in one in-game day? And I'm not gonna make you wait around to find out. The answer is yes. That is more than 50 copper ore per hour, which seems insane to me, but hey, I did it. And here's how. I hunted down juicy levels in the mines. For the purposes of this video, a juicy level is a level with 4 or more copper nodes. You know, it's one of those levels where you enter and your eyes light up and it's like, whew, we've hit the motherlode. My theory was I needed to get eyes on as many levels as possible as quickly as possible. If a level had a decent amount of copper nodes, that is, if it was a juicy level, collect them. If not, skip the level. Throughout this challenge, I worked out that roughly 1 in 7 levels are juicy levels. The question is, how many levels accessed are required to ensure you see enough juicy levels in order to achieve a successful run? Level 1 to 40 in the mines spawn exclusively copper nodes, so that's where I headed to find out. But first, let's go over the loadout. For luck, sleep till the best luck day. Equip 2 +1 luck rings and eat a rock candy, which gives +5 luck. For speed, the rock candy gives us +1 and drink some coffee for another +1. To get to the mines, a mountain obelisk. To mine, an iridium pickaxe, a slingshot with explosive ammo and mega bombs. Remember to subscribe to Floydson because that's the cornerstone of every copper miner's breakfast. And lastly, don't forget to keep an elevator with you at all times to get to level 21 on repeat. Because that was my initial approach. Spam reset level 21 of the mines as quickly as possible, checking for copper ore. On my first day using this strategy, I visited 172 levels. By the way, this number excludes any levels that are multiples of 5 because those levels cannot spawn copper nodes, so they don't matter. Out of those 172 levels, 24 of those were juicy, with 4 or more copper nodes. This means 148 levels had less than 4 nodes, but these levels weren't necessarily useless, as I picked up many quick individual copper nodes when it was convenient. In total, this first attempt netted me 736 copper ore, and it took me 26 real-time minutes. Here are a couple of things that optimize speed when executing on a copper ore hunt. Firstly, pause often. When emerging onto levels, as it saves you a fraction of a second before you can start moving. When surveying levels for copper, because you can look without wasting any time. And after destroying copper nodes, so your magnet rings can suck up all that juicy copper without wasting any precious seconds. Secondly, prioritize clumps of copper ore. Any copper ore nice and close to the ladder or close to a wall so that they're easy to destroy with a slingshot. Avoid random nodes in inconvenient places. These are bait and waste more time than they're worth. Thirdly, go down ladders when they appear. It's an easy way to eyeball a bonus level. After a few attempts getting comfortable with the movements of this initial strategy, I had a few early resets when I felt the RNG wasn't going well, and I had a few full days where I achieved similar stats to the first run, hitting around 700 copper ore each time. I needed to tweak the strategy if I was going to hit 1,000. And so I came up with my first evolution to the strategy: staircases. Now, I have no idea how I forgot staircases were a thing, but I literally had 122 sitting in my bag. I began employing these and made my rotation levels 21 to 24 instead of just level 21. Obviously, staircasing is quicker than elevator resetting, so it's a no-brainer. Quicker movement means more levels visited per day and a better chance of hitting them juicy levels. With this updated strategy, I hit a personal best of 939, where I visited 214 levels, 32 of which were juicy. This run took me just over 30 minutes. I then decided to craft some more stairs as 122 wasn't quite enough. I also crafted a mountain totem to save me a few seconds in the morning rather than running to the obelisk. Then, with these two minor optimizations in place, I followed up with a new PB of 955. Now, a quick note on optimal stair use. It's handy to pause often to ensure you find a tile to place the stairs without wasting time. It's also optimal to stair immediately after cleaning a level of copper, no matter where you are, rather than running to an exposed ladder or back to the main mine ladder. This of course uses up heaps of ladders, but it saves valuable seconds. Now, soon after this, I did a run where I accidentally staircased to level 26 and I found this glorious bounty. This made me realize, why the heck was I stopping at level 24 to reset? Why not keep staircasing all the way down to level 40 on repeat? That is unquestionably more efficient. And so, the very next run, I staircased from 20 to 39 on repeat. Now that I think about it, going from level 1 to 39 probably would have been even more efficient, because I think the copper spawns aren't any different between those levels, but whatever. Regardless, this run was the one. I was visiting levels at the fastest rate so far. I made it to 229 floors, 38 of which were juicy, and I collected 1,032 copper ore. And honestly, as this was the first attempt of an evolving strategy, I played far from optimally. And yet I still visited roughly 15 more floors than my previous strategy, and I hit the target. So the question is, how many copper ore could you get if you pushed this strategy to the limit? For now though, my job is done. The key to getting 1,000 copper ore is getting eyeballs on as many levels as possible. Simple as that. Speaking of mining, check out my 100 days of Stardew Valley as a miner. This video is a banger. You won't regret checking it out. Cheers.